Geico Motorcycle Insurance, you get custom coverage for your bike and accessories, so nothing can stop you from riding like you. Not even the giant inflatable, babies at your coworker's cousin's gender reveal party.
Girl, it's a boy.
In a gated, no longer gated community.
They must have Geico.
So get going and get more with Geico.
All right, so hello and welcome. We are here with Elite Aspect F125 preseason testing here in Spain for week 2 of our preseason testing. We are on day 1, but this is session 2, so we've already got a little bit of data from some drivers out there earlier today. I believe Young Lights, Joan, MDJ, Frigate, Folkmasters, and Poison Harbor were out there a little bit today. It's our first time today to see Lynx and also Marcos, TRT Marcos, and Banana Josh. See them out there today as well. As we're seeing Folkmasters here in the McLaren leaving the pit lane. We're here at Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya in Spain. For an interesting circuit, of course. One that's been criticized as of late, but has always been host as far as the testing sessions are concerned. So it is a great test track. It really is. Just like we did Bahrain last week, which has been repeatedly used by F1 as a testing track as well. This week we're going to use Spain. So, yeah, really looking forward to this session. A few more drivers in here, so we'll see how these guys get on. As it's just the opening laps here that we're starting here in a testing session. So we'll take a look at everybody's tires and start getting some lap data and stuff on board here in just a little bit, as we just pick through the drivers as they're making their way through. Hard tires, of course. Yeah, we can check in on Poison Harbor, who is actually on the lap guess we'll go ahead and get some lap data, map up here. MDJ is on an out lap on soft tires, so that'll be interesting to see. Honda was able to keep the throttle down through turn 9, coming into turn 10. I think still being a little bit hesitant here. Looks like they have the fastest first sector, but Peace is right behind him. Then the Aston Martin, I think, is about to start a lap. Picking on that in just 1 second. We got a time of 1:20.256. Right behind him was the Aston Martin on hards, and then we see Joan, of course, to a 1:15.855 on the hards. I think everybody else was just kind of putting their lap time, just trying to get in, but we see a big congestion here. 2 McLarens, a Ferrari, I believe a Red Bull right behind it. No, a V-Carb. So many drivers about to start a lap here, and as you see, a great shot. All of them coming down the main straight. Got the Ferrari of Frigate at the moment. Well, things happening fast and quick here in the afternoon session on week 2, day 1. Just saw fastest first sector. On the hard compound tires, turn 7 and 8. Put in through 9, second sector. Looks like drivers are just jockeying for position back there. As Joan has done a 1:15.5 on the hards again, but we now have a fastest second sector by Frigate. These two were battling in the first session of the day. And unfortunately, did a 1:14.302, but that time is not going to get recorded. Up here with Coke Masters, who did a 1:28, but we also just saw Young Lights, I believe, did a 1:15.159 on those hard compound tires. That's what we want to see on those hards, that mid to low 115s, of course. If you can get the 113s, high 112s on the mediums, you're probably doing pretty well. And of course, I think it's that 112 range that we're looking for on the soft compound tires. As Banana Josh battling through in the Williams, we had a slower car behind him and he makes his way through, but has done that 1:16.732 on that hard compound tire, which is nice in that Williams. MDJ and the other Williams has not set a time yet. Folk Masters in the McLaren with a 1:22.894. We expect to see these times drop considerably. Lots of drivers out there just throwing in laps, minding their own business, just trying to go around the track. And then sometimes somebody might come up behind them quick or out of nowhere almost. And yeah, traffic is an issue, but Folk Masters right now just ahead of the Williams here as we look on track. Just did a 1:14.811. So a really good lap from Folk Masters there. Let's maybe we can take a look here. I hope this looks right. So that was our first test session of the day. As we can see, Frigate in the Ferrari did a 1:12.471. As we look at these lap times on the harder compound tires, as we start this session, so those are the times you're kind of looking forward there. As we had less drivers in earlier than we do now. But yeah. So a lot of these drivers doing kind of the same programs. MDJ on the sauce. Not using that battery, so maybe on just a secondary LLAP here. Right over that curve a little high there. Got the Aston Martin links right behind on the hard compound. And then again, a Ferrari coming behind me. These drivers are somewhat bunched up here. Just a little bit. Gets out of the way. It looks like going on the hard compound might be going for another lap here in just a second. Hit the braking zone. On into turn one. On the throttle. Can you keep it into turn three? Do you take through turn 4 down into turn 5 and 6? Lock up in front. Hopefully that's not distracting. This sector puts us. Alright, not even 1/10 down on their own time here. I think they can make up 1/10 in the final sector. Well, we're running the hard tires and continue to do so. If you're setting at 115s, you're probably doing a good job. That was a 115.5. We're trying only 10 minutes in here, so the track really hasn't rubbered in that much. We'll pick up with MDJ in front. Felt like he was pushing through there, but really burning the battery that much. Pretty neat through turn 4 there, down to turn 5 and 6. Oh, that's right. That was the last testing session, and then now we're on board with these guys on this testing session. Sorry to leave that up so long. MDJ backs out of it, might have cars behind. Checking here with Banana Josh. Over that curve right there is definitely dangerous if you even that kind of inside of turn 8 there, which is on the outside of turn 7. Was able to keep it in. It did invalidate the 116.56. Didn't improve much, but I think what we're looking at now is a bunch of drivers finishing up their first run plans. MTJ 7 laps on those softs is interesting. Yeah, looks like for now We'll watch the Duracell battery go around because newest hard type. Letting drivers behind go nicely. Maybe he'd be getting on a lap here. Love the helicopter cameras. Missed the first sector time there. Do apologize as we're on board here with watching Banana Josh starting the second sector, making his way through turns 7, 8, and up the hill to 9. Lost a little bit of the rear end. Off way to the side there. Wasn't able to keep the foot in. TTR Marcos here with a 116 flat on the hard compounds, which will be putting in push lap now as well. Driver off in sector 3. Might be a Williams. Flat, so it does improve a little bit. Nice to see. Moves to the right, gets out of the way. Oh, Banana Josh coming through. Might or might not be on an out lap. MTJ has done 10 laps on these soft compound tires. Unless I'm takes the old not sure what happened there. We'll pick up with Frigate 333.60 here on soft compound tires. Only 20 minutes going so far in this session. Was running on board with the Ferrari. Did purple the first sector, so I didn't see the time exactly whether they were up. We'll see here in a second what happens with the second sector. Almost 8 tenths up. So we might be looking at a 112 here. already on the board with only 20 minutes gone by here in session 2 of week 2, day 1. Well, that's a good time right there. 112.613 on the softs. Sure, the young lights was on lap and got hit up with traffic. On the hards is Joan, just putting laps in. Pick up with MDJ. Still 12 lap old softs. I mean, that's rare to see, but if you look at start of a lap pace, your car is full of fuel, right? And you want to start on the soft compounds to get the best start that you get. So do it and run it 8, 10, 12 laps. See how far you can get with it, how much fuel you'll have left. How long can they last in the first place? So, good strategy here, I think, by MDJ. And now we have another Red Bull joiner. Is that Ozanyalas? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Pardon me. Or how they want it to be pronounced in the first place. We're on board with Ozan, who does kind of lose it. Able to keep it straight back on the track, out of the way of the Aston Martin really, really quickly. So, just lost a little bit of it there. Poison Harbor, all the soft compound tires. Might be somewhat of a pre-push lap. Plenty of time left here in this testing session. We've seen interesting scenarios already play out as far as where the drivers are, what their focus is as far as their testing session. Poison Harbor here on the softs. This could be in the 115s. No, 116.5. Not an improvement. Still going strong. Get out there, get those laps in. Same thing. TRT Martesolo on the hard compounds, just turning laps in. Well, now on the mediums, it looks like. Okay, on the heels of a Red Bull, it looks like. But on the soft compound tires, doesn't look like doing much here. It sounds to go past. DJ has been running those, so is Joan. I think they might have switched to mediums as well. Young Lights in the pit, so 113, let's call it a 114 flat on the hard compound tire. I think it's done a 112.6 on the softs. On the mediums now. Just on turn 3. Half a second over his fastest, which was on the soft support. Nice and steady there through 7 and 8. Yep, put in over 9. Nice. And then you're getting down into turn 10. That might have been one of the best turn 10s I've seen all day. Lost the rear end there on the exit. 12, now through 13, through 14. Can you keep your foot in? 6 here it was, not 7. It was a 112, 613. It was a 114. So comparatively, yeah, definitely a second in there, maybe a second and a half, and then another second to the hard tires. So the soft tires are obviously strong around here as far as one lap pace. But it's the guys that can make these mediums and hards come alive and last. Are the ones that are going to be able to dominate the circuit as far as race pace. Now PRT Marcos here. Quite on a push lap, but making his way through. It's not that finding a rhythm because it looks pretty good from here. Just setting up for a hot lap on the medium, still improved to 115.695. Plenty of energy to use here, so it might be a push lap here for TRT Marco. On the mediums, that was an early braking point, it looked like. Yep, definitely let up it. So definitely not a... It's Frigate still with a 112.613, set a little bit earlier on the softs. Now running the medium compound tires. Nobody's quite challenged that yet. We may see something close to that here a little bit later. A little bit wide there. That raised yellow curve is nasty. So try to stay away from that if you can. A lot of these medium runners, guys, ran out with hards earlier, a little bit wide there, trying to push the limits. These guys are trying to find it as well. So again, just testing. Give these drivers a break for trying new strategies and testing setups. Not only that, it is a new game and there are no assists in this lobby, so kind of where things stand with that. That's another reason why we're doing testing. Get these drivers in, get them acclimated, get them running, no assists, plenty of laps, improving as they go. So it should be fun to watch as we're on with TRT Marcos making his way up turn 3 here in Spain. Looks like it should be on a push lap on these medium tires. Turn 4. Need to be a little bit in there. Wasn't quite 100% sure. A little bit of a lockup. Nice apex there. To turn 5. Up into 6, 7, 8. Yes. Very tidy. Only a little bit came off there through turn 9. Down into turn 10. Get this last sector right. Might have a pretty good time here on medium compound tire. Track is rubber again. We're only about halfway through. So this track is continuing to improve. Able to keep it throttled down. This is going to be a pretty good time on the medium tires. Moves up to 6th with a 1:15.386. And let's keep in mind that he's probably going to run this same compound for another 5 or 6 laps maybe. So it's got to have the fuel in the car too. MDJ coming into the pits off the hards finally. And go ahead and take a look at the tire details as well. What their best was set on and what tire they're on now. So MDJ did 14 laps on those soft compound tires. That's amazing. Lakes 11 laps on the hard, still out there, it looks like, into the pits. As we'll get back there as well. Ozen on the Red Bull starting a lap. Looks like he's decided to back out. Yeah, Prickett's doing all the mediums again. Looks to be on a hot lap here. Running in the Ferrari, set a pretty good time in the first. I understand this is going to be a full-time driver as far as our league is concerned. Here for Elite Aspect F125. Missed the first sector time. Make our way up to turn 9 here. Medium compounds again. DRS open. Coming to turn 10, pick the braking zone. 1.5 seconds up on that soft compound time of 112. So looking at a 114 here, I would say. Pretty much a 114 flat. But he's down to 6th. Favorite Sharks too. Might have been a little time up there. Oh, it's a 114.792, so still a good time. There's now hit up Marcus Olmo again. Why not? On a push lap now on the mediums again. Might be a little bit more comfortable. A couple drivers coming out on our laps. A couple drivers doing some different scenario testing. We've had a couple other drivers join as well, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on them as well. It looks like Mark F1 and XR8 Philip has also joined this testing session, as we do have a little bit of movement moving on the leaderboard at the moment. Banana Josh, MDJ, I think, are moving out a little bit as we're riding on board with Marcos Olm. TRT Marcos is what I'm going to call him. When we get the car slowed down, it's a nice apex there. Through turn 12, 15, and then 14, able to pull a real wide there, can't even hold on. It cost a teeny bit of time. That's a 114.306, so a little bit of an improvement there, it looked like, but maybe invalidated somewhere. Let me go ahead and make sure I add these gentlemen. We'll see about them putting some times in here in just a little bit, as this test session has filled up just quite a bit, and we just got a K73 Rip P Symbia. I have no idea who that is. Tell you what though, quietly but surely in this testing session, Link's piece has just been churning in some tires. Looks like on a slow lap here, nobody behind him. Let's take a look and see what happens. Not really pushing or anything. Let's see. Going for it, going for it, going for it. Alright, so with Link's piece here in the Aston Martin, set some pretty consistent good times over the testing weekend that we did in Bahrain. Make our way up through turn 3, up the hill. Bridge. Hammer down into 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear. A little bit of a lock up there, but not bad. Able to control it nicely. So just finding that limit on these soft compound tires, trying to push. Use that battery. Keep the foot in just a little bit longer if you can. Nice through there. Didn't use too much curb as well. Lost a little bit of the rear in there. That's going to cost a tenth or two, maybe. Still pushing on. Looks like a pretty good lap here to me. That's a 1:13.312. Definitely nice, definitely nice. We see young lights off in the gravel a little bit there. Mark's F1 is done a 1:12.826 on the soft compound. Boatmasters again with a 1:13. I'm just starting to drop out there. Young Light's still on the medium. Is coming in the pits, okay. Boatmaster starting to run or coming in the pits as well? Boatmaster is starting to run. Keep on board with this one. I'll be right back and we'll talk about the finishing final laps as time goes on. We're still, still 20 minutes to go, so plenty of time here in preseason testing here for Lead Aspect F125. I'm just going to step away for a minute. We'll stay on board with the McLaren of Boatmasters here, who it should be setting a time on these soft compound tires. Here this lap, so it'll be interesting to watch. Nope, just had to pull out of that one. Alright, still on the mediums. See if Marcus Olmo starting another lap on the medium. Looks like it. You guys enjoy that, and I will be right back. Alright, well, we'll come back to it. We'll see what Young Lights can do here in just a second, as these times have really gone down as we're looking at these guys on soft compound tires. All sub 113s is top 4 are concerned right now. Saw Marcos again cross the line, improved with a 113.387 on the mediums. So, very interesting to see how these drivers are contesting. It looked like Young Lights was about to start a hot lap. So we're right on board with him. If anyone doesn't know, Young Lights is kind of the group organizer of this league, so I'm gonna give him plenty of shout outs and props and screen time. On the soft compounds, making his way up turn 3 into the first sector, moved by 2/10, 2.5 tenths, 2.5 hundredths, I'm sorry. Pushing hard through 7-8, up through turn 9. Able to take a little bit of the curve there. Half a second now. Up on the best time of that 113.4. So maybe the high 112s here. But should be able to hang on a little bit more in the final sector here. Able to push across the line. The 112.629, moved by 8/10, up to 4th. Into the pits. Into the pits. Figured in the pits as well. Young Lights will be in the pits on the next one out. We've got Joe into Pokemasters. On outlap, so hey, we watch what we can watch here. Pokemasters on a hot lap now, it does look like. A little late on the throttle on the exit of that one. He was riding the curve at the inside of turn 2. Makes his way up through turn 3. Turn 4, able to hold that outside line. Move across the track, get you a better line through turn 5, 6, and 7 down the hill, up the hill through turn 8. Stay off that yellow curb. It's going to cost a little bit of time. And it looks like it's backed out. It's already down to 4th, 5th gear. So unfortunate for that lap. DJ, kind of quiet sitting back there. And we're going for a lap here. On the soft compound tires. Ben Williams, sitting back in 9th with that 113.4. I think that was set on the mediums. It might have been set on the hards. Pick the braking spot. Early apex came out on the left side. Pretty tidy there through turn 5. Pushing the limits on 7 and 8 there, so very nice to see. Keeping the throttle in. Up to 7th quickly. Even got to 8. Car slowed down, turn. How do you want to come into turn 11 here? 12. 13 and 14. It's a pretty good time here, I think. doing 113.265. So definitely an improvement. Pumpmasters here, gonna do a 117.062. So it looks like now on for a push lap, we'll pick him up. We'll spend up plenty of time here watching these drivers on soft compounds, putting in lap after lap after lap. We're setting fast times, and what we're doing here is we're broadcasting this so the team principals can watch these drivers going into a session. On the Cricket 3360, just improved a little bit there with a 112.374. They get a little sliding in there into the new turn 10, up to 11, 12 now. 13 and 14 comes into the pits. Let's see what Lynx is up to, as might be about to put in a hot lap here, as we see most of the drivers into the pits at the moment, because what's happening is we're getting down to 10 minutes left in this session, and these drivers want to time it and get their setups right for maybe possible 2 hot lap runs here at the end of the session. Hit the Lynx piece here, who looks like he's on one, has to stay to the inside a little bit early on turn 3 as he had a weird exit coming out of turn 2. Well, not a weird one, but one that is generally taken. Maybe a little later apex there at turn 4. Nice through 5 and 6 here. Up into 7 and 8. Really couldn't keep his feet up going into turn 9, so should be able to keep full throttle here. Try to make up a little early entrance there. Trying to reduce the traction on the front end. Nice through there. That's a 114.0. So it didn't improve on the best time, but still not bad. There's for TRT Motorsomo now, finishing up a lap. That's a pretty good lap. 113.2. It felt like he backed off a little bit right before the start finish straight, though. That could have been a 112 out on 12 finish. Take a look at Banana Josh here, with 9 minutes left to go in this practice session here for Lead Aspect F125. Getting ready to start the season, just finishing up some preseason testing here. We're on week 2 here in Spain. That's Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya. Week 2, we did a previous week in Bahrain, where we had some excellent testing, some excellent drivers, putting in a little bit of a show. We're continuing on here with our second week of testing here in Spain. As it's Thursday, and this is day 1 of week 2, but this is session 2. So we got some inputs from some of the drivers already in the first test session that we ran earlier today. man, Josh is gonna be close to that 115 marker, I do believe again. 114 copy. Mark's on push lap? No, Mark's is hanging back. Pick up one of the Ferraris here. Frigate, who again is already leading, but it not like it in the last lap. Let's see if they're on a real tight push lap here. Kinda looks like it. Oh no, hit the grass on that one. Experimental. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Looks like Marks just might be setting up for a lap here. Let's see who else is back there. MDJ coming into the pit. Spoke Masters starting a lap. May improve. Oh, unfortunate banana Josh. Frigate turn around. What's going on out here? Mr. Mark F1 only get really tight through turn 3 there. Onto the grass again, pushing the limits. Opening the door for XR8 Phillip here. It looks to be on a pretty good lap. 2 tenths up on his fastest. Could be a 1:12.4. So looking interesting to see where this lap's gonna end. If XR8 Phillip can get this right. Oh, he fell off a little bit there. But there it is. Fast slap. 1:12, 3.54. Alright, pits again. Both Masters on a push. I don't think so. No, setting up for one. That 30-second time is not going to be good. Vince Peace was on out lap. Let's start one here. On the soft compounds. Maybe a little early into one. Did a lot of the best they can out of 2. Up through turn 3. Hit the bridge for turn 4. Yeah, it's still interesting through turn 4 how they find which traction they want, where they find it. Down 5 and 6 now. Hold to turn 7, 8. Yeah, stay off that little yellow warning curve. Put the throttle in through 9, can you? Open the DRS. Do you want to take turn 10? A little bit of the rear end sliding out there. Can you get a good exit though? No, doesn't look like it. It's backed off. Pick up a Spoke Masters through 7 and 8 there as well. We're going to have some other fast laps being set here in just a moment. So stay tuned because we're not going anywhere on this one. Dives into the pit, says I want to try one more time. Yeah. So this is what we're looking at. Bunch of people in the pits. Everything's happening. Everybody wants to come out and finally put on. And I believe Joe just crossed the line. 1:12.569. Young Lights is on an out lap. Banana Josh on a lap? Maybe. It looks like, looking at that battery depleted. Come on, Banana Josh. I think you're still a couple seconds back. Yep, 1:14.706. Which is not an improvement. Down on a push lap? Doesn't look like MDJ Young Lights is either. MDJ's on an out lap now. We've got a bunch of drivers in the pits, a couple drivers on out lap. Young Lights is going to take another lap. Don't know if Banana Josh is pushing. No, I don't think so. So at the moment, we're just waiting to see who's going to. It is Frigate who is on a lap. Carries that inside line through turn 3. Nice through 4. Turn to 5. Nice apex there. Not too much on the exit. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. As we have XR8 Dakota, who did a 112.354 somewhere without me noticing. I think there's other drivers on fast laps right now that we need to go look at. That's going to invalidate for Young Lights. We're hitting with 3360, which has been pretty predominant here. In our week 2, the beginning of week 2's testing session here in Spain. So, putting in lap times, getting it done. Up there at the top of the spectrum, Mark F1 came in, Philip came in, Joan was right there, Young Lights right there, MDJ right there, especially in the first session that you ran earlier today. They were all at the top of the table. And we look at it again, yeah, so it looks like these guys are carrying on and putting in really good lap times. As I think this lap time might hit a little hard to other drivers out there, as that's a 112.249. Yeah, 112.25. I mean, that ain't fast. The fastest we've seen this weekend so far. It'll be interesting to look on further as we continue on in the practice series. Alright, so that's going to do it for week 2, day 1. As we had 2 sessions here around Spain doing some practice sessions. Congratulations to Frigate 3360 with the best lap time of the day, it looks like. I do believe. But yeah, those numbers are so close. And if we compare those with the lap time set earlier today, yeah, we'd have about 10 drivers right in there that are 7 or 8 drivers at least that are so close to each other we wouldn't know how to separate them. So very good testing today. Make sure get that at least so I can record it. And yeah, that's going to do it for testing here for Elite Aspect F125. That was week 2, day 1, session 2. And I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow as we'll continue on here in Spain as far as our testing sessions are concerned. And hopefully Saturday we'll get all the data we need to get compiled. And we'll host a draft session where the team principals, who their draft position has already been decided through random rolls and all that. So everything is random. Yeah, they'll be able to draft these drivers based on their performance here in preseason testing. So do appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you tomorrow with the next one.